no words of conjuring that I cannot summon. You underestimate the process of conjuring. All I need is truth, and words with rhythm, like this.
Let me explain what happened, and perhaps you can point me toward the identity or legend I seek. It all began when I was 4 years old, during a nightmare. In my dream, I saw something like Freddy Krueger hunting the other kids in the apartment complex where I lived, and I was the last kid left. My parents didn't let me watch horror movies, so I had no context for the figure I saw in my dream. It came to my door, blades outstretched in the shadowy silhouette beneath the door. When the door opened, there stood what looked like a dog with the head of a Doberman Pinscher, but the body resembled one of those dogs from the Ghostbusters movie. In my dream, my bed began to float in the air, and spikes emerged from the floor and ceiling, as if in defense against this intruder. The dog smiled and then floated on all fours above the floor, gliding over the spikes toward me. Just as the dog lunged at me, I woke up to my stepfather catching me. I had been floating about 4 feet in the air when he said he walked into the room and found me screaming in my sleep. If he hadn't caught me, my head would have hit the edge of the nightstand, and I could have died. 3 weeks later, there was a fire in the dry field behind our apartments. For some reason, I was seen sleepwalking straight into the fire. My stepfather heard this, tore off his jacket, dipped it into a puddle next to the field, and threw it over his head as he rushed into the fire. He said he found me just standing there. The flames hadn't burned me at all. Not even my hair was affected. He threw the jacket over me and rushed me through the flames. The paramedics said there was no damage to my lungs or anything. After that, we moved. Years later, once I was a teenager, the Freddy demon returned to my dreams. He was doing the same thing as before, hunting my friends who lived around me. He killed my friend Bobby with his own switchblade in his sleep and was coming for me next. That's when I woke up. My mum had kicked me out of the house because my pregnant fiancé had just been forced to have an abortion and was going to commit suicide. I rushed out of the house, and she thought I was lying, telling me not to come back. I saved her from under a bridge where we used to hang out and got her home safely. I went back to the bridge because I didn't know where else to go and fell asleep there. My friends knew where I was and came to check on me, they said, but the dream I just had was still on my mind. They were acting strangely, laughing at some joke I wasn't aware of. That's when I saw something. My friend Bobby was smoking a cigarette, but the smoke was coming out of his throat. I noticed this, and he just smiled. I also noticed my other friend, and as the light caught her face, I saw she was missing her eyeballs. I heard someone laughing behind me and spun around quickly to see what looked like a throat opened wide behind me. My friend's laughs echoed as I turned back around to find them gone. Then he appeared from behind a support pillar of the bridge, Freddy Krueger. He laughed and stepped back out of sight behind the pillar, then appeared from another, then another, getting closer each time. The last time, I knew he was going to pop up behind me because there were no other pillars left. That's when I felt the outline of a knife in my pocket. It was my friend Bobby's knife. He must have put it in my pocket before he vanished. I pulled out the knife and hit the switch as I spun around, and Freddy appeared just in time for the blade to pierce his chest straight into his heart as I said, "Don't you hate it when that happens?" He gasped and stumbled back, vanishing, then reappearing from behind the first pillar I saw him at, grasping his chest. Suddenly, a swirl of purple clouds appeared, and he started begging. A lightning bolt struck him, and for just a second, I could see what he really looked like. A gargoyle-like creature with wings and 2 horns protruding from his forehead. The lightning bolt struck him again, and he vanished, screaming as the swirling clouds disappeared. The only thing left when he vanished was his gloves, which I still have to this day. I do know its name, the name it first gave me, but I do not speak it to anyone who is not my enemy. The entity and I came to a truce when it learned who I was. I only speak its name when confronted with an enemy that I need its help with. You are not an enemy, so I do not speak its name to you. However, I must find out who sent this thing, and it will not tell me. There have been other encounters, such as the Mara you mentioned. I had to perform an exorcism on a spirit that was choking me and my girlfriend in our sleep. We would wake up just as you described, as if something was sitting on our chests and choking us. I was not an ordained priest at the time, so I found an exorcism that did not require ordination and could be performed to ward off evil spirits. We performed the ritual, and the spirit vanished, not bothering us again, until recently. I've been having spells where I've been choking, and it seems centered around the crucifix I wear around my neck. If I move it so that it's not touching my skin, then I stop choking. My wife has been having the same problems. It has been noted that there is an order out there that seeks to offer my life up as a sacrifice in order to mold me into some Antichrist figure. I've traced this order back to the Vatican itself, which is attempting to gain control over an ancient legend and prophecy given to Solomon long ago that pinpointed exactly when to find me, instructions I left for Solomon, seeking his help. To understand this, you must grasp the mystical relics involved that made this possible, such as Merlin's magical mirror and the legend of Asmodeus. I am Asmodeus, and I used Merlin's mirror to travel back in time to Solomon when he was a child and made a deal with him. This deal involved my bestowing the gift of magic and astronomy upon him, making him the legendary sorcerer who would one day rule over Israel, in exchange for his help in battling the source of whoever is sending these creatures after me. However, the Vatican saw a chance to seize control over Israel by subjugating me to their influences and taking the deal for themselves to control Solomon and all of Israel that was a part of the agreement between him and me. To do this, they altered the prophecy of my time when he was to find me walking the earth and changed it into the prophecy of the Antichrist's coming. The original prophecy stated that he was to come and find me upon the night when the moon turned as red as blood and the sun turned black as sackcloth, on the night of omens, 2019 seasonal cycles after the crucifixion of the Son of Man upon the altar of the cross for the sins of man. Instead, that prophecy was warped into the prophecy of the coming of the Son of Perdition. The spiritual attacks are seeking to weaken my self-esteem and inner strength, preparing me for this Antichrist role they want me to fulfill for their plans. In recent videos, I've documented their attempts to discover my demonic true name, and they have so far failed. This situation plays right into the struggle between Solomon and me, where I have identified a false god sitting upon a heavenly throne that is set against me. The Vatican is that source, or someone within their ranks is using forbidden knowledge to the Church's advantage.
Your magic tricks are nothing when compared to the power of the dark side in balance. Don't underestimate the power of the dark side. Now you shall see the might of my true power.